Rashmi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Good, good. Let me just pause the recording for recording.
Yeah,
I can always edit it later.
right.
Okay, it's recording. Yep. And
Yeah,
you,
and
you are-
everyone knows that I'm going to be talking about the works I photographed from the members show, right?
Yes, I didn't give them a preview of which works because I didn't want to just have a narrow audience. So we're gonna see whoever comes in. We can ask if the artist is there. We're recording this, so
I mean,
they can
yeah,
see
and we're
this.
discussing it. There is no critique or anything. So
Right.
is we can talk about what to see in a work of art or what people like to see in a work of art.
Right. And that's pretty much going to take the hour because you've got quite a few pieces there.
Yeah, so I will there are two of some artists, so I'll take one of that artist instead of two.
Okay.
So that way they have, you know, everyone gets sort of a fair share.
Right. I mean, if there was time and if somebody wanted to just do a show and tell from their Zoom box, we
Yes,
could always do something like that as well.
right.
Yeah. Okay, good.
We could do that. Definitely. I mean, okay.
Did you,
Scott is young when I met him.
or you're starting to see people come in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Scott.
Hey, Scott, how you doing? Did you happen to see the New Now show?
I did.
Yeah.
I got a little peek into it. It's open today, so I was not at the museum today. I saw it when they were installing it.
Yeah. So I just
Did
saw.
you go?
No, I didn't. I heard that it was, well, I'm here. I didn't, I usually go to happy hours on Thursdays, but I I wanted to be home for this, so I watched the 4 o'clock presentation that was on YouTube. I thought there would be more live like a Zoom, but it was just the artist talking about the show, which I'm gonna try and see it looks pretty good. I'm part of it. I'm actually one of the vignettes. You know, I'm one of the people talking. They asked me to give some reaction to the pandemic and all that stuff. So I'm one of the talking heads in the moon.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
I
do
hope-
need a lot of input from people.
Yeah, it was a long interview, and I probably said too much. So I'm gonna
No,
have,
no,
no.
you never say too much.
Oh yes, I can. I can do it. I'm my
We
father.
all can do it, but
I'm
that's okay.
I'm my father's son.
Well, you know.
Well, anyway, yeah,
Well, the pandemic has really, made us, given us a new insight into ourselves as well as the world that we live in.
yeah,
So it's not like, who would have thought
yeah, yeah.
that this is an experience that none of us are ever going to forget?
Correct. Yeah. The museum's starting to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, now we are allowing 20 people in instead of 15 people in. And people are, yes,
So tell me something. It used to be just 15 people.
per 15 minutes. So
Oh,
now there are 20 people. It's not significantly more, but I think they will increase the numbers. I think.
yeah. Well, we're having the closing of the show tomorrow. We're going to be outdoors in the tent. So, pretty much I'm asking people to keep masks on, but it's going to be more relaxed. Going inside, I think we're going to still kind of keep it where we do a head count and let only so many people in.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct. I
How'd you
mean,
like
the Paint and Clay Club, we had the active members show, and that time we had it in Old Line. It was indoors,
Yeah.
but we kept it into a safe kind of situation, and it wasn't bad. I mean,
How long you been with the club?
oh, forever, I think. Sort of.
Oh yeah, I didn't
It
know
was
that.
one of my earliest things in this country when I came, and
Oh really? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I got one painting in the show, so I was happy about that. I have to try to get down to see it.
Yeah, I didn't get in this year. I mean, sometimes you get in, sometimes you don't, and
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah. And it's good to be back at the Eli house.
Yeah, this year we got in. I mean, it is a sort of an iffy situation, the ALE Center,
Yeah.
because that building is an old building,
Uh-huh.
so they have their challenges also.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why we are always looking for alternate spaces.
Yeah.
Because it's always good to have a plan B.
Yeah.
And also, what happened was I've been a member for a very, very long time, but now I'm on the board.
Okay.
So one of the first things I did when I got on the board was I sent out a survey to all the membership about various things, what they thought about, and people were interested in. I mean, they said that they wouldn't mind driving to a little distance if the show was like away from New Haven,
Okay.
which was why we had it in the Lime Academy.
Okay.
And then the nice thing about that was that artists living in further than New Haven, they showed more interest in participating.
Very nice. Yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah. I guess Greg was saying, was it the arts, the place there, Arts Cooperative?
Yeah, it wasn't the old Lime. I think it was what the Art League.
But a couple of years ago, they had it there. He said it was quite expensive, that they were,
Yeah,
yeah. Did Lime have a,
old Lime, correct. So
They
but
have
it
a-
was a nice place, and it was a good experience. I mean,
Yeah,
people
good.
came there,
Mhm.
and the opening was, it was during the pandemic, of course. It wasn't like before.
Okay, yeah. And did you get a piece in that show?
Yeah, I had a piece in there.
Yeah, oh, good.
So I had a piece in that show, and there was a hi Nancy. Gina is here too.
Yep.
So people are trickling in. That's nice.
Yeah. Take your shoes off at the door,
It's a
please.
nice evening thing to do. Yeah. Well, a lot of the museums which have been closed, I mean, we were open, but a lot of museums were not open at all. So they have started opening up.
Yeah, we actually were down to the MoMA recently, and
Hmm.
they were pretty loose and quite a bit, but there was a lot that was shut down. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but you had to get time tickets.
Right.
I'm trying to get time tickets for the Alice Neal show, which is at the Metropolitan in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to see that show. That should be a blockbuster.
Right. That should be good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Boston Museum has something. I forget what, but that is also, there's something interesting there.
I'm very excited about the Wadsworth. They're going to do Leonardo Drew. Are you familiar with Leonardo?
No.
Hold on a second. I happen to have his book here,
Oh, wow.
but he does these great things with, just lots of different kinds of things put together,
Okay. Like
Uh,
Sarah C.
grids.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's
so
kind
they are
of,
like installation art.
yeah, he does whole walls. I down in Chelsea, I saw a show of his, and it's just incredible stuff.
Okay.
And it's a lot of it is like he emulates Rust and Detrius, which
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I'm into Rust and Detrius. Being from New Britain, of course, that's
And I think that is, that appeals to me definitely. So
yeah.
yeah, I'll go see it.
That's at the Wadsworth coming up, I guess, mid-May, late May. Yeah. So after this show, I'm thinking about doing a show with John Milochenski's art. I don't know if you got into the stables, if you saw his drawing.
Yeah, I did actually. I walked around. I saw the stables. I loved it.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
our newest addition to the gallery space, and I'm pretty
Right.
excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're very fortunate to have the stables. I mean, that is very, it's got a very unique character.
Yeah.
They're cleaned up a lot. You guys cleaned it up
Gosh,
completely.
yes, we have really, gotten rid of a lot of stuff.
Yes. What happened to that model horse that you had?
Well, that we donated to the New Britain Industrial Museum, which
Okay.
is good because that horse used to be out in front of a tackle shop, a horse and tackle shop.
Mhm.
It was just for displaying of saddles that were made in New Britain. So they've got it somewhere in storage, and until they can open up a bigger venue, I was happy to see it go because I had this idea that we're gonna have space, and so that was good. We have a bench upstairs from the original, what's his name, Sanford B.D. Lowe, the original
Okay.
director, and that we were able to move upstairs. And then there's a huge mirror from the Lacey Mansion, which was destroyed when they put the highway through. And that is upstairs as well. So we're able to
Okay.
preserve those. So it's
So
part
you
of
have quite a collection. Let
yeah,
me just put on some lights. The sun suddenly goes down.
okay.
Much better. So we'll give it a couple more minutes. It's almost 7, not yet. Hopefully more people can join us.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, here is.
I just got a text that they got into the art league okay. They're having
Okay.
drawing tonight, figure drawing.
Oh, tonight. Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
We had a virtual figure drawing on Tuesday.
Yes.
We didn't get a great attendance, but it was a good kind of dry run. We
Mhm.
really figured it out.
Right.
So we're going to have one of those again in 2 weeks.
So Miloslav, I think he's also does Monday night classes with me over here.
Oh, where's that?
So yeah, he does figure drawing, right?
Oh, you have figure drawing where? At the Art League? I mean, the Art Museum?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. No, Art League.
oh,
Miloslav,
yeah, yes, he does it on Thursdays
yeah,
sometimes. Yeah, yeah.
right, right. So he also does art classes with me over here on Monday nights.
Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I mean, we can wait a little bit
Okay,
longer if you like.
people are joining.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Yeah, wow.
So
How can they all get in the door
good.
at one time? Look at that.
Yeah, what a crowd. Beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. How's everyone doing?
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So, not last week, the week before, I stopped by at the Art League to look at the members show, and it was very enjoyable. First of all, it was so nice to go and see a show in person, you know. Yeah, it felt really good. And, you know, like you see a lot of virtual art, you know, on the computer, on TV, you know, which is nice too. I mean, we have the technology to see things very clearly these days. It never used to be this good. But still, going and seeing the real art is always the best. So I just took some photographs, and I should tell you, when I took the photos, I took pictures of the artists also for my own reference, but over there I did not pay attention to the names of the artists. I just went by instinct and picked some photos. I did recognize a couple because I was familiar with their work, but all said, and it was a good mix, and I thought I would pick up some images to talk about today. And you know, I'm not sure if any of the artists themselves are there, but it's a discussion. We are going to talk about, you know, just generally what I like to see in art and what makes me attracted to a piece, things like that. So I'm going to keep a sort of an eye on people as they come by to admit them. And I'm going to see if I can share a screen. Let's see. All right. So this one is by, let's see. All right. Susan Levy. And then let the clock finish ticking. I don't like to turn it off because then it goes haywire and then it's hard. It's an old clock. Setting the time and all, I don't want to break it. It's very expensive to mend. So I just let it go on. So this piece, I was attracted to it. Hey, it's all gold. What's not to like, correct? Gold color. And then I noticed two of her pieces are at the auction in the museum. So I was excited. So this one, I mean, looking at it, I think of silver birches, sort of, you know, like a New England landscape, but not quite, you know. I mean, it is silver birches, but not quite in the sense, the barks are not silver, they're gold. But I do like, I mean, what attracted me to this is just the casual sort of brushstrokes. And I like when I look at a work of art, if it's done, if it seems to be done with ease, it's something I notice, it's something I remark upon. And that is what usually attracts me to a work. I mean, it's not always, done at ease. It could be done very laboriously, but it would appear to be done at ease.
Ex-
A lot
Excuse,
of brush strokes without,
we're not, excuse me, but I'm not seeing are you talking about a painting? Because I'm seeing a doll.
oh, how come that happened? All right, you're seeing the doll.
Thank
Silly
you.
Zoom. Yeah, how is that? All right, let's do this. Stop share. Let's do, because I meant to share the doll, but then Susan Levy's painting showed up, which is fine too, because that was sort of also on my list. Let's see. I mean, start share.
Rashmi, when I share, sometimes if you hold the shift key down, you can select multiple images.
So then how do you select them?
So hold the shift key down, and once you click on an image, you get a check mark, I think, and then if you keep clicking, and then you share. Let's see.
All right.
No,
Let
doll.
Marcy. Can you see the doll?
Yes.
Because I can't. That is really absurd. All right.
That doll is kind of pushy, if you ask me.
I know, but it's not pushing into my screen, which is very, very annoying. Never mind. Yeah.
I love the doll, by the way.
I love the doll. And let's talk about the doll before we go to the landscape.
Okay.
So I personally, I really like the art of doll making. I mean, it could be a craft. And who's to say that a craft is any way less than art? Eventually, when an artist does paintings or art, it is that artist's craft. I mean, a modicum of craft goes into the creation of anything. So the doll, it is like, I looked at it and I just couldn't stop looking at it. For some reason, there was something I couldn't articulate. There was like this sort of, the clothes were very, jaunty, almost like an upbeat kind of, doll. But then the face, there was like, it was a complicated face, I felt. The doll's face, I felt, was very, it was a, like a depiction of a complicated person. And I don't know if the artist meant it to be so. Donna Robinson, that is what it says, her doll. I just felt that, it, I look at it and I want to know more about this person who is sitting here. Why she looks the way she does. What is the expression? And I'm not even paying attention to the materials.
Rashmi,
Mhm.
excuse me, there's a couple people trying to get in.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Let's see. I just let Marcy in, and
I think it's a Bernadette Belizzi
yeah,
and a Patricia Corbett.
I'm not seeing the participants. It
Okay.
keeps going to preview. Yes. Bernadette. Anyone else
Yeah,
other than
Patricia-
Bernadette?
Patricia Corbett.
Patricia. Okay.
Thanks, guys, for your patience.
Yeah. Thank you. Because I am on the Zoom meeting and I'm not seeing anyone to admit in. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see. I'm going to stop the share. So maybe, we can.
Okay, you want me to take back host and see if I can?
Yeah, could you, if you
yeah,
don't
sure.
mind?
Yep. And then you can,
I can talk. I mean, meanwhile, I can
I'll ping
explain
you.
and talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Right. So, now that everybody saw the image of the doll, I mean, I was looking at it, I felt, it was the depiction of a really complicated person. Felt, that it was a mixture of, different age groups, a young girl, more mature person, somebody who's happy, sad, like there was so many different things I could see in that figure. And that's why I selected that doll. I felt that, we could talk about it. Like, did anyone else have any comments about the doll? Does anyone else want to sort of, let's go to gallery view.
How do I get you back as host? Hold on, get
Let's,
me back.
I
Ursula
thought-
is here. Yeah.
I thought it was extremely expressive. And I really thought that it was a really standout piece. I really love seeing art dolls, and I thought it was remarkable. I just really loved how much expression she put into that little figure. Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing that at the show. Yeah, it was really nice to see. Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
Rashmi, I think you might have to give it back to me. Posting.
let's see.
Okay,
Are you the host now, Paul?
let's see.
I
Mm,
can share. So maybe I'm still the host. I let Ursula in right now.
Okay, great.
So yeah, so I think I'm still the host.
Okay, well,
So Bernadette is here, correct.
okay.
So Liz Scott says, could she be wearing a wedding dress? And yes, I would say she is sort of, it does look like, at least the material seems to be of a wedding dress. So, and that certainly complicates the issue, doesn't it? So the doll was something I really, and you don't really see, I mean, there are so many art shows you don't see I mean, that's an uncommon kind of work that you see in unless it's like a themed show, a juried, themed show, then you're more likely to see. So, well, that was my 2 cents worth about the doll.
Okay, you're still host. So
Yes.
why don't you go back to screen sharing
Yes,
and
I'm going to do that.
let's see if we have better luck this time,
Well,
guys.
let's see.
Okay, I'll keep chat open. If you got any issues, you can.
Right.
I'll look the chat over. Oh, okay.
Can you see this Anne Rose Brooks painting?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Good.
If you can't.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, super.
So this one, I don't know. I mean, again, there's a joy in this painting to me. It is like a,
Rush,
I don't know if they're, sorry?
excuse me, I don't see the whole painting. Does anybody, I don't know if you have to move it to the left. There you go.
Is it better?
Better for me.
I see it fine.
Fine.
Okay, right. So, it's like, well, obviously there's artwork in the background. So maybe this is a family meeting, in maybe an art show, and
I recognize some people there.
oh yes, so it is a portrait, a group portrait.
Looks like Renee Bayard on the bottom right.
I don't know the people, so I couldn't identify that. But there is so much personality in this. There's so much personality. There are people who know each other, and I can see, like sort of like a resemblance. So they could be family, they could be, from a, they're known to each other. And obviously they are real people. But I like the way, the treatment, the very, basic sort of almost like an archaic kind of thing, very direct treatment. And there is no mistaking in that it is a group of, people of different ages, different, kind of, and they are gathered. I can only assume they have gathered to see an art show, and one of them is the artist. Does anyone know who the artist is? Yeah, I'm not familiar with the people. No. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But I mean, the colors, the whole, approach, that whole, very direct, very simple, very almost like childlike. There is no, the approach is almost as if like, this is a group and they're meeting together, maybe to see the art show, and it's a happy occasion. I could be wrong, but these are the vibes I get. So yes, I was definitely attracted to this piece.
Well, I'm getting some vibes here, and I like it too. I think it's very unique, and I love the caricature effect of, the kind of image it is.
Yeah.
But what I'm noticing is that it's the figures are all separate from each other. They are linked, or they are pointing at each other,
Mhm.
hand-wise, but they are separate, and they're all facing, it's like you're taking your family, someone's taking the family photo, and
Yeah.
everyone's looking at the camera and not at each other. So I find that I'm seeing a reference sort of to what is going on today in terms of everybody's sort of attachment for the image, their self-image, and yet and also sort of a contradiction in the fact that they are connected and yet they are not connected. If that makes
Yeah.
any sense to anyone, that's kind of how I'm seeing it or reading it. I think it's very interesting.
It's interesting. And what you said is really interesting, because what happens is when you view a work of art, any of us, be it in a show, be it in an artist studio, be it anywhere in a museum, we always reflect ourselves in the work of art. So each of us, we notice different things, we interpret different things, and we take away different things from the same work of art. So what may, resonate with you might repel me, or what you may notice and you would draw connections, I might interpret it differently. So, that's very interesting. But the fact is that all of us, we are looking at it. I mean, look at it, each person's eyes, very simply drawn eyes, but how focused they are. I mean, they're definitely looking at something. They're not just eyes drawn into a face. So, and the first thing, in fact, I noticed are the eyes of each person in this. They're very focused eyes. So,
Right, and that's what drew me also, because they're not looking at each other.
no, they're
And
right.
I'm always taking pictures of, I have, my kids, my family. That's exactly how except my family actually leans on each other, links arms around each other.
Right.
And these figures are standing isolated.
Right.
And I agree with you, everyone has their own interpretation, but I'm just describing, what I see.
Yes.
Right. So, and it doesn't have to be that, and I agree with you, it doesn't have to be that we like each other's interpretations.
Right.
But I love hearing other people's interpretations.
It's interesting, correct. It gives new depths to the same work of art. And sort of, you find other connections. That's right.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's wonderful.
I did like this one too. Anyone else?
Yeah, the rhythm of the composition really sparks me. And I love how there are paintings behind 4 of the figures' heads, as if they were attached to those paintings, right? Which makes me wonder, so if that's so, why are that stacked column of paintings to the right, who do they belong to? So it sparks my curiosity and it keeps my eye jumping around.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you are, it intrigues you enough to wonder, why so and so, and if, like after this moment, what, So that is it, I mean, the painting is definitely resonating.
Mm.
Be it differently, but it's making an impression. It's not leaving us indifferent. You know what I mean? Like many a times,
No, not at all.
correct. Many a times you go and say, "Oh, what a pretty picture," and you move on. You can find it pretty without it really, making any impression on you.
What's
So
amazing to me is I see the artist in those faces.
Hmm.
I do. Yeah.
probably, I mean, it's like I would like to see Anne Brooks and what she has to say about this, right?
Mhm.
All right. Let's go to the next one. Oh, I can't share anymore. You need to make me host again.
Paul, can you make her the host again? We can't hear you. He's doing.
I just made her host again. Okay. That's my attempt at sign
No,
language.
no,
Yes,
you
sign
made
language.
Barbara. You made Barbara Alex the host, not me. It happens. It's an imperfect technology.
Is Barbara Alex? Where is she? I don't.
She is here.
She's here. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Edith.
Hello.
Oh, there's your. Hi, Barbara. Great.
Let's see if I can.
Peggy. Great.
Yes, now I
Tina. Hi,
can.
Tina.
Okay. All right. Can everyone see the photograph?
I can.
And it's a black and white photograph?
Yes.
Okay. So, well, when you're discussing work, it's always good to select different mediums and different types. And this one, again, there are a lot of portraits I saw, a lot of like figurative and portraits in the shows. And I tend to pick up those. I may not do portraits myself, but I majored in portrait when I studied in art school several decades ago. So I still, get attracted to portraits. So then this one, again, I mean, I don't know if it's posed, if it's one photograph, or if it's two images sandwiched together. I don't know. I don't know the technical aspect of this, but I do like the way, in a good black and white photograph, and I'm a photographer. I used to be paid to do photography and processing and printing. So I'll tell you, when you take a photograph, a black and white photograph, even a color one up to a point, a good photograph usually has details and shadows. Usually, a good photograph, you see, what happens is many times you have the details in the light area are not difficult to get. It's very hard to get details in shadows. And I always notice that. You see here, the details in shadows, you don't have these dense inky shadows, which are, more common in a lot of photographs, which drives me nuts. It drives me crazy. And you see those photographs even in museums, for whatever reasons they exhibit them. I have no idea why museums do that. But details and shadows, and they're not easy to get. getting details in the light portions are easier. So I do like this in the sense, the way you have this texture, you have the face here, and is this the arm? I'm not sure what it is, but it looks good. So this one I found fascinating because of the way the light and shade, the way the grays are well balanced. And again, it makes me wonder who it is, whether it's taken like behind a curtain or if it's superimposed. Does anyone have any questions, comments?
Well, I find that that you pointed out that stream of light, that streak.
Yeah.
I'm sort of having a hard. I can see where it creates the movement in the piece, and certainly. Okay, so let's explore it. Why is it
I
there?
wonder if it could be an arm.
I think it could be
Outstretched
an arm
arm.
or something.
Well, if it's an arm, I'd like to know it. So it doesn't have to be a fully developed arm, but then it does something to the photo, which is it animates it, right? It adds like
Yeah.
a speed of, it has a purpose. And so that's kind of what I'm exploring, because it needs to be there to have the effect of the photo. And then there's another line, which is like a branch in the
This
lower
one.
left. Yes, you've
Yes,
got that, which
correct.
is the echo sort of that. So, but I find that very, very interesting.
Yeah.
An interesting element.
I mean, if that was not there, it would have been a good photo. I'm not saying it would have been a bad photo, but it would have been, like a whole lot of vertical lines and then the face, it would have been more traditional, you know what I mean? The
Right,
composition.
exactly. Yeah, it's
This thing is
interesting.
like, it cuts through the vertical lines, and then, you have this little curved line, and then you said the echo, this line here.
Yeah,
So which makes it into a more of a complex kind of composition,
yes, I feel that way too.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's not, I mean, as compositions go, it's not very it doesn't stick to the traditional rules, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that. So, and that's what it sort of attracted me to this piece.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mhm.
It's important.
It's important, yes. And
Yeah.
when you see somebody, they always say, try and break the rules, try and bend the rules of, and breaking rules for the sake of breaking rules, it doesn't always work. Sometimes, it's like, okay, just stick to the normal rules of composition and just get it right.
I think
There
the
are
face
plenty
has a lot
people
of
I feel
expression.
like, yeah, I really feel like saying that to so many people. But sometimes when somebody breaks the rules successfully, it's an intriguing situation.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, Peggy had something to say. Go ahead, Peggy.
Yes.
I just thought the face has a lot of expression, like she's about to say something.
Yeah. Right.
It makes you wonder.
Makes you wonder. And it's a calm face. Don't you think so? It's a very calm, and it's like,
Yes.
it's very peaceful, the expression I felt on the face.
Almost like a psychic, like something, a mystic or psychic or something.
Yeah, it's
the
like
world.
somebody who has a lot of inner thoughts. Yes.
Yeah.
To me, it looks dreamy, like she's coming through a dream, that she's working through stuff, that all of those vertical lines could be any growth of anything, could be seaweed, could be grass, could be, who knows, any
Who
kind of,
knows?
but she's working through, working through these stages. And it just looks like a dream to me.
Yes. So it's a peaceful,
hi, Marcy.
peace-inducing image.
Liz Scott put into chat, have you considered the title of the piece is W-O, capital W, capital O, space, capital M-A-N? Interesting. Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Can you see this?
Uh,
The
I-
Andrea Fenn's portrait.
No, right now I've got you're minimizing the photograph.
Okay.
Oh. What am I seeing?
Yeah, what is it?
It's
Like the
a-
picture, only
Distorted.
distorted.
Oh, really? Okay, let's do some share. Because I can see. All right. Sharing is paused. All right, let's stop sharing this. Let's
Okay.
share something else. Now, can you see this?
Yes,
Is it-
Andrea Fenn's painting.
I see it.
Me too.
Okay.
Whose painting is this?
It is by Andrea Fenn.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, well, it's a very highly detailed, well painted, well crafted portrait. I am fascinated. I am so attracted by this sun or this whatever it is behind her. It is like so it just takes it away from anything traditional. This whole background, you have the flat background, and then you have this round. I mean, this woman is, sitting outside in the sun. So, well, maybe this is the sun behind her. But I just, I looked at it and I said, wow, I felt, and I like the way, there are these small things like the pattern on her clothes is repeated, on the cushion, things like that. I mean, you have, so many textures. You have like her hair, the glasses, the skin, the clothes. You have the little metallic, bar of the chair. And then you have this big, bold, white, yellow sun behind, flat with a nice, white outline. And it's somehow, this thing, it's like nothing else in the whole, painting, the texture, and I think that was anything that is, what do you say, out of the ordinary, out of the, traditional, I always remark on. So, does anyone have any comments?
Yeah, I was thinking it reminds me of like a Saturday Evening Post cover, that kind of Norman Rockwell-ish.
Yes.
Yeah, and I do like the way the gray, the cool of the gray interacts with the warmth of the figure in the sun. I think that was very simple, very nicely done.
Very simple, yeah. I mean, it's Norman Rockwell without the, well, his people smiled a lot. Yeah. So then in that case, I guess it's not Norman Rockwell, so almost. But yes, I just found that, this one was a piece that I found interesting.
Mhm.
So what is her expression?
Let's find out. Who thinks what is the expression? Come on.
I think it's like, what are you looking at?
I know. I don't think it's very kindly. I don't think it is
No.
kindly at all.
Yeah, I think it's not an expression, it's an attitude.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like this is my space. The sun behind me is my sun, and you stay out of it.
Right, right.
Oh, you can tell that she's not there to please anyone, but just enjoy herself.
It is. She's enjoying everything on her own
And she
terms.
doesn't care, she doesn't care. She's there, just enjoying maybe
Yeah.
the pool and into her own
It's her
thoughts
own thing. Yes,
and not being ingratiating.
yes. I would say this is the person who would truly enjoy the social distancing.
Yeah.
Who is my husband flirting with now?
This is it. It's my time. Keep
Really?
your distance.
May I say
Look
something?
look at those teenage goons over there.
Right.
I just had a thought. Again, I think about when people give titles to pieces, I think sometimes they're important. And it's funny, all these comments from people, if you think the title is The Beginning. And so maybe she's come to a really important decision in her life. You know, it's like it's the beginning of the rest of
Yeah.
her, whatever she's going to be
This
doing.
is
you know.
it.
So, you know, like maybe she,
I'm going to live life on my terms going forward.
Nice.
Yeah.
No,
We've
it's
all
with the-
we've all come to that decision at some point in our life, I would say.
with the sun rising, you know, that could be a halo. That can be
Yeah.
a sun.
Yeah.
But that makes sense in terms of, you know, this is my beginning.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
where I
She
am.
does exude confidence, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, the graphic treatment makes me feel like she's risen above like the normal human condition, and she's almost like a deity, you know, that embodies this
Yeah.
attitude.
And the sun is almost like a halo behind her.
She's
Yeah.
becoming the great mother goddess there.
There you go. See?
Yeah, and you don't mess with her.
No,
Excellent.
don't mess with her. I would never mess with this one.
Right.
It's a mafia Don.
If I did, it would be to my peril. Yes.
Maybe she just got a divorce and is ticked off.
Right, Barbara.
I'm gonna screw that guy and get my head
So
or
I
more.
should share this with you. Some years ago, there used to be this Porsche. It is a red Porsche which used to be driving around town. And it was driven by a woman. And her vanity plate was "took him to the cleaners." It was so funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
She just looks like,
Yeah.
don't mess
Good
with me
work.
anymore.
Wonderful.
Yeah, don't mess
So,
with me. I like
this
it.
is-
I would have
yeah.
titled it, Don't Mess With Me.
I guess, yes, this one would be driving a Porsche and take him to the cleaners. Who knows? But yeah, I was very fascinated by the positioning of that sun, you know?
you know, I had another thought along this
Yes.
line. This is so funny. I mean, it's so fun to hear everybody's comments. You know, two things could happen. Maybe she got divorced and now she can finally have her own life, or her kids have left the house and now she's, you know, able to do what she wants. It's the beginning of her life now that she's taken care of all her kids and the family and all that. Now she's got, it's the beginning of her life.
Her life. And all she
Just a
wants
thought.
is peace and quiet in the sun. Not a lot to ask. Yeah. So I just, yeah, I mean that. And did anyone notice the sun is behind her, but there's such a, you know, like marked light coming from the front on her face.
Even on her right arm, on the hand, see the light?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe there are two light sources.
Right. So, I mean, it looks like, you know, studio lighting almost. I like it. I like the way, you know, the triangles. I mean, the light patches are almost like geometrical. And I do like that. So, all right. Oh, let's see. Can you see this? Connie Pan's work?
Maybe-
No, this is still a distorted image of the previous one.
Yeah, you might have to re-share, you know, stop sharing and share again.
Yeah, I need to do
I
that.
think when you should hit the red dot next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, can you see this?
Yes,
The student scholarship winner?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this one, just, you know, when I looked at it, it just gave me so much thought. I mean, is it some kind of a toy that is hanging like this? There is like the fish and the bait, and then there is almost like a, you know, ghostly sea with the creatures there. I mean, how old is this person?
They're high school.
I would say that person has a lot of thought.
We had a lot of talented applicants this year, Rashmi, very talented
Look at
kids.
this. Yeah, I'm
It was
impressed.
hard decisions.
Yeah.
They were very talented.
Connie Pan. Oh, yeah. I was just fascinated by this one. I couldn't believe a student. Yeah. But I mean, you can see, you know, there is so much, you know, a lot of depth in this, you know. I mean, she's not only has she given a lot of thought and, you know, she's created this for a student to think completely outside the box. It's a still life sort of, but it's very, you know, unconventional still life. And the you know, I mean, it's the craftsmanship, the composition, there is just so much thought and so much you know, what do you say, very, very competent kind of you know, artist. Like, she knows, very confident. You can see that, you know, she knows exactly what she wants to do. And I find that very fascinating with someone that young. I
I
like
think
that.
that's quite amazing.
I'm gonna try to say it. It's Trump Boyle.
Yes, almost. Trump oil. And normally, I'll be honest with you, I'm not very fond of gold frames. Really, I don't care for gold frames much. But just by putting these two, you know, fish baits here, she's
It worked.
given like sort of a relevance to the gold frame. I don't know if it's intentional or unintentional, but it does work here.
Does. It's absolutely surreal.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
It is. I like this piece. I mean, I was just thinking.
It's surprising every year, like how talented the kids are that apply. It's very difficult to choose the winners every
Yeah,
year.
kids. I mean,
And it's a credit to the instructions that they're getting as well, but they're very talented. I mean, you can't do it on instruction alone. I mean,
So are they from the New Britain schools?
no, because it's Connecticut women artists that do it, so they're all over the state.
Oh, but I see.
No, they're not from Britain. They're from all over the state.
All over.
So the council picks, you know, the applicants from all over. Yeah.
I can imagine. I mean, if this is the kind of work that's coming in,
Crazy.
picking them must be not easy.
It's not. So.
Yeah.
To me, that piece has some Salvador Dali qualities.
Yeah, it's really good.
Salvadorian, yes. Dali-esque things. I mean, you find, you know, at the younger age, they are more overtly influenced by a lot of artists that they study, which is fine. I mean, you know, they are still developing, they are learning, and it is perfectly natural that they are going to be, you know, influenced by artists. And Salvador Dali, with his surrealist, you know, paintings, is a very, very, you know, influential artist, especially with the younger mind. But you know, I mean, that doesn't mean that it is any less. So I mean, she's given a lot of thought. I mean, I really like the way she's made these, you know, the fish, these gray fish, they're almost like drawings. I like the way she resisted the temptation to paint these two fish and make them into like colorful goldfish or something. It wouldn't have looked bad or anything. It would not have looked bad, trust me, if she had decided to paint them into like, you know, fish. But the fact that she made these into almost like, you know, drawings, monochrome drawings, which are like, you know, like these, almost like these ghostly, shadowy pieces. And then these, you know, reflected shadows of the fish bait. I find that really fascinating. I mean, that
Mm.
is what attracted my attention to it more than anything.
I was puzzled by that creature in the middle, in the center, the white one. I
You see?
turned my screen upside down, and I think when you do that, it looks like a cat.
It is.
Is
Yeah,
it?
Yeah,
yeah,
it does look like a cat, definitely.
it is a cat, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I know. So it's fun in the sense, like, I'm sure you can draw a connection, but it's
It-
this,
a
surprise
little.
kind of piece,
Yeah. I think there's a level of maturity in it that's surprising.
There is. She has put in a lot of thought in this, definitely. I'm wondering if she did some sketches or, had some false starts. I don't know. I mean, there must be some story that we can track here, but it's great. And I like this texture, it's almost like it's pencil shading, but she's done it with paint. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say that even like the way she handled the background, she didn't just solid. It's like there's
Yeah.
layers of texture in that background that are,
it's like,
Yeah.
you do shading with a pencil or something.
yeah, it's
So
just
she's
amazing.
combined like sketching with painting.
Mm.
Maybe there is a story here. Maybe she observed a cat jumping in the fish aquarium. Who
Yes.
knows?
Or
And
maybe she has that cat sitting around in the house and she decided to
Yeah.
paint it. Cat and fish does go, like make a story. Yeah.
Can we speak? Can you see me? Anybody?
Yes.
I'm Janet and Janet Lambruni,
Mhm.
and I was on the committee to do the jury for the Scholastic Art Awards, and I
Yeah.
was in contact with the students for this work. So in this particular piece and the other ones that are there, she picked out of the closet because she needed something for a series for her portfolio.
Mhm.
And she picked out this little white ceramic cat.
Ah.
So she chose to do the cat in all different, a theme, and she used different mediums. So one of the other ones, I don't know, because I just joined in, sorry. She did with silver point, I think. So she
Oh.
put the cat in different positions and different contexts. I thought it really hung together as she had a group of 5.
Oh.
And this, I just thought, I agree with you, is so mature, and she shows such tremendous sophistication in the way for someone her age that handles these materials.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, has she made that cat herself?
No, I think it was like a little ceramic cat, in the art room in the high school.
Oh,
And
I see.
the teacher said, go find something to use, for your portfolio. And she found that cat in the closet of the teacher with the junk, and she
I
used it in all of her pieces.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool.
That is cool. Yes.
Yeah.
See, now we know the story, at least part of it, which is interesting. Definitely.
Yeah.
It is interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Connie, yeah.
Connie. Okay. I stopped sharing so that it doesn't get all confusing. All right. Eileen Carey. I'm going to share this. Can everybody see Eileen Carey's painting?
Mhm.
Yes.
Good.
Looks good.
So, I mean, I do like Eileen Carey's work, no matter where I see it. I like the way she has the ease. I mean, what I've said earlier, the ease of painting. You can see her brushstrokes are very precise, but very easy. And without too many fine details, she gets the, entire, scenario across very well. So, I mean, there are all these people, nothing conventional about, there's no posing. It's just like, a moment captured from an art show. So it could be a random, like when you go to an art show and you just look at it, you could see this. So there is a lot of attention given to the composition, the black color, the way it moves around. It's very well pulled off, very well done, but it doesn't feel like, there's any effort in that. It feels like, it's just there. So she always, I've noticed her work is always these groups, there's always this like groups of people captured in like sort of, in the middle of an action. So that is her work. Does anyone have anything to say?
I like the way she portrayed perspective, linear perspective.
Yeah.
The two gentlemen on the right are much larger compared to the group of people on the left.
Mhm.
I would wait.
It does give a lot of, depth. It makes the room appear big. Yes,
Mhm.
that is very important.
I would wager that's Max Beckman on the walls.
This one
The walls, it looks like a Max Beckman's work. I wonder if that's the MoMA.
could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could very well be.
I find it interesting the way she, went about painting the floor.
Yes, I was going to ask someone, is anyone going to comment on the floor?
Because, you see the vertical line there on the floor and the painting, they don't exactly line up. The shapes and the colors are not exactly right, but, reflection from the people, I just think it really makes the painting. Think about it if it was just muted like the white walls, how different it would look.
Yeah,
It's a complete different feel
that's
than the
right.
rest of the painting.
The fact is that there's this big empty space in the middle. The people are clustered to the two ends, but this space has become meaningful because of the seeming reflections on the floor.
Right.
Yeah. So again, bold brushstrokes, very easily applied. And they're not exactly the same colors as the painting. You notice? She's not given into that temptation. You would want to, like you would think that she would use the exact blue, the exact turquoise. She has not done it.
Yeah. I think it was very effective to make the back wall pure white.
Yeah. That's right. And the fact that, again, the floor is not white, it's not too dark. It's this almost, what do you say, a neutral color, but the reflected, patches of paint make it, give it more of a, value in the composition than you would expect. When you're painting, the background can be very challenging. It's not always just a flat background that you fill in. The color you choose, the light and shade, the patterns in the background can make or break the subject. So you would think, like a lot of my students ask, do you paint the background first and then do you paint the subject, or do you paint the subject and then the background? And I say that I paint both together. It's never one after the other because they're both equally the part of the work of art. So, the background it can literally make, just like the frame, it can make or break your work.
Right.
So yes, I find this a very effective use of the, paints for the background. I like the way there is like a pillar-like thing that almost cuts off here. That is also pretty unconventional.
I just noticed that.
Yeah. You see that? Who would think, put a straight white, and then you have this like a, giving it a dimension.
Mhm,
And then you have the repeated white color here.
mhm.
So it's very interesting.
So I have one more comment, and I'm sorry to monopolize because I just
Not at
joined.
all.
I'm talking a lot, but I taught 20 years in Hartford, and one of the things that I would tell my students is, and this is something I made up the term, a triangle of color.
Mhm.
And I told them it helps to move your eye around the artwork. So I look at the yellow, beige color, yep, right there, the yellow in the ground, and then the woman's hair is blonde.
Yes.
And I think subconsciously, or it moves your eye around, and you can do
Mhm.
that with other colors in the picture. But at least for me, it's very important that that floor was yellow.
It's exactly the same thing what you're saying. The black has a pattern, the yellow has a pattern, the blue has a pattern.
That's
So
right.
each color is leading your eye around
Right.
the way it should.
Yep.
Exactly. So, and I
Although
like the
just-
fact, there is so little detail, but you know exactly what the person looks like.
Right.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Like a Hemingway novel.
Like a Hemingway novel. That's right.
Like a Hemingway character.
Absolutely.
Another thing is I love the dancing figures. They're there to look at art, but the real painting is on the floor that they don't
Right.
notice.
Yes. That's
Isn't that
true.
beautiful?
It is. The floor is really fascinating in this one. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Thank you for pointing it out.
Does this painting have a title?
Irene, it might have. I am personally not, I never feel interested in the titles. So I have this habit of never putting them anywhere. I title my own work when I, enter them in shows because sort of, it's easy to keep track of them. But yeah, titling work is something I have no patience with. We should look it up, but I don't know what the title.
I'd be curious because I have the same thing. Titles are
Yeah, I mean, titles are
titles are
something.
necessary, but in the end, you do pick something. So I'm just
Right.
curious what the end choice might have been.
Yeah, let me
Just
see.
to round out,
Yeah, let's
So
see.
it's
Maybe I have it somewhere. Let me take a look.
the piece.
Quick
Because
look.
there's
It's
certainly a
called
lot
On
going on.
Exhibition.
I'm looking on my catalog.
Yeah, On Exhibition. That's the title.
What is it?
On exhibition. Correct.
Okay.
Very good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very simple title. I like that.
Me too. Yeah.
So, all right. This one was behind a glass. So can everyone see the photograph?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't be misled by this light, like a washed out band over here. That's because there were reflections. It was a very glossy print. So without the right filter, I couldn't cut out the glare. But I'll tell you what I really like this. I like the absolute perfect symmetry in the work. Other than this one, line of light over here, everything is like almost, you have it straight in the middle, the axis, and you have everything, symmetrical.
Yes,
And
but no.
that's a hard thing to pull off, let me tell you. There are some little differences, but
The only thing that's symmetrical is the chair and the frame of the big window, the center.
yes,
The rest of it has all sorts of variations.
there are variations, but it looks so, it looks like a symmetrical object. It's not really, that's true.
Yeah.
So This one, when I look at it, it's almost as if, someone was sitting here and they just left, it's like that little brief moment between the time when someone was there and they're gone, and we don't know if they're going to come back. We don't know if they're gone, like, for long or forever. There's so much we don't know. But it's not as if it's something that is just there. You know what I mean? It's not just a collection of objects. I feel the presence of a person here. And that's when I look at this, I feel, that is the person just outside the frame and going to come back? Or, is this place waiting for somebody to come and sit here? So many questions.
Planet.
And
Well,
when a work of art makes me think so much, I think, it's worth talking about.
Well, right. And I mean, it could be that it was someone who's passed on and that was the chair he sat in.
Yes.
the Mafia Dawn.
That's true.
Where's the
God,
replacement?
I mean, it really does look very Italianate, with the rich
Florence, look at the
curtains and-
Florence.
I was thinking of some like this big old house, which
Right.
in
That
the
chair
European-
belongs to one of the Medicis.
in the European countryside somewhere sitting.
Florence.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah.
It's funny, had the camera gone up a few inches down, a few inches, it would have totally changed things. But you can see where there's some intersections of the railing and the top of the chair. I wonder if
Right.
it was intentional. It almost looks like if it wasn't that way, it would be more of just a snapshot versus a composition, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like it's such a controlled space, detailed and lavishly controlled and balanced space. And the whole point of it is that's the interior. But you look outside and it looks like there's desolation outside,
Yeah.
Mhm.
But inside, the human being that controls that is trying to control it totally,
Mhm.
and which is in one hand kind of beautiful, but it's not real,
Mhm.
There's a lot of artifice in there. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
I think that is deliberate.
yeah,
I mean, in the photograph, the Julie O'Connor, who's taken this photograph, I think she feels, I mean, there is a lot of deliberate composition in here. So, yeah.
I think she can control the inside, but not the outside so much.
Mhm.
The empty chair draws me in. It pulls you in, and Paul, you're right. I feel tension about the top of the chair and the railing. And part of me wants it to line up where the indentation is with the curtains.
Yes.
And then I find myself going back and forth, checking left to right for the height of the window. What's matching, what's not matching.
Mhm.
So there's a
Right.
lot of tension there. Even the shooting of the light down to the right, it's not there on the left. So,
No.
and then I think, what would happen if there were a different chair there? Adirondack chair, office chair. It wouldn't have the same effect,
Right.
No, it wouldn't. I mean, that chair and those drapes and, just the, general thing is so, yeah, I think.
Nice.
I mean, there is a lot of deliberation, artifice. There is a lot of, like contrived composition kind of thing, the red of the chair, the angle of the light. And I think that is deliberate. I mean, there is nothing is accidental in this. You know what I mean?
right?
Mhm.
Like nothing is left up to chance. Even the fact that there's all wild outside is part of what inspired her to do this composition. So juxtaposing this, highly ornate chair and those drapes with, that kind of, just actually there is no leaves, but This thing has been pretty ruthlessly trimmed, whatever it is.
It's COVID outside and no COVID inside.
Yes, that's true. There's like,
I'm trying to read that plaque there that's on that column,
Where?
right outside the column that's
Oh
outside.
dear.
oh yeah, there's a plaque there, correct. There is
I wonder.
something. Plaque.
That would be.
Wow. Probably don't lean over and fall off the railings. Who knows?
Right.
Do not sit in the chair.
Yeah, I think this is probably like, now it's probably an empty place, which is, open to the public to take a look at whenever.
I think,
So
if you
it doesn't look like a place that anyone inhabits. I could be wrong.
Right. Well, if you look at the buildings, I'm able to get a 300% zoom. I don't know if everybody else is able to do that.
No.
But there's some buildings in the background. It looks very European.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was, oh, look at that.
I don't know if you have that option, guys, where you have view option.
Oh, who did that?
I did it.
Yeah.
There we go. I
Yeah,
still
there is
see that.
buildings here, not very pretty ones either.
Oh,
Huh.
They're pretty ugly buildings.
it reminds me
I
of,
would give this painting a title, Memento Mori.
Memento Mori, yes. I
It's-
don't know if that is the title.
That's a deceased person.
Yep.
Oh,
That refers to a deceased person.
Yes.
how interesting.
No, because there is the landscape is not alive. Looks like a
It's
autumn
winter, right? Looks
Oh,
like winter kind
winter.
of landscape.
and empty chair. Someone said goodbye forever or just temporary. I'm not sure. That's what I'm getting from this.
Well,
The clouds look painted.
I think it has a surreal quality to it. I put it right in with the surreal, that's that sense of real, but beyond real, more than real, as we talked. It's not what you'd usually see,
Yeah.
like, an exaggeration put together, but it's really beautiful. I think it's
It
just beautiful.
I was fascinated by this photograph. It stood out. It's too bad that it was so glossy. I couldn't take a picture which was, avoiding the reflection. But very rich colors.
Mhm. Nice. Every picture tells a story. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow.
Alrighty. Okay, we'll do the last one. Is Marcy here still?
oh, she left.
Oh, she left.
I can call her.
Because I liked her piece.
She's in the CWA. Yeah, I like it. She's in the CWA meeting right now.
Yeah, but we finished. That's
Oh,
why I
you did,
came.
Janet? Oh, okay.
yeah, it
yeah.
is time
That's
actually.
why you were there.
Like, take a look at this. I found it fascinating. Marcy did a workshop with me a while ago, so.
That makes me think of Matisse, Gauguin.
Yes.
Yes, all those, the French groups.
Mhm.
Yeah, Gauguin at least went to Tahiti. A lot of them never left France, but they love to do these tropical scenes with all the,
Mhm.
that was the fashion those days. So, but that said, this one, I do like it. I like the way there is all this, riot of different, patterns, prints with total disregard to any, rules and regulations. I do like that.
That's what made me think of the Matisse.
Yes.
Who did his pattern.
Yeah, I know. The forests. So on this note, maybe we can do some next time. So next time, maybe people can send me some work. We can talk about it. It's always good, guys. It's always healthy to talk. I'll pull out a piece of mine also for you to look and comment on.
She didn't answer.
No, she must be busy. Well, it is past the time, so in all fairness, she must be like done. So
Did you look at Sarah's? I don't know what else you looked at.
Sarah?
Sarah,
Yeah, I wondered if you looked at hers.
last name?
Warda with the
Which
dress?
one? Sarah?
Sarah Warda with the dress?
Oh, I don't think that was one of the ones she picked.
It's not.
Actually, that's a picture.
If you can send me the picture and we'll talk about it next time. It's not a big
Okay.
deal. Yeah, just take a nice picture and just send it to me or Paul, and he can send it to me. And we'll
Oh,
talk
good,
about
okay.
it next time, definitely. I didn't take off every one because there were a lot of work.
A lot of them, yeah.
We would be here all night.
Yeah, the next one is going to be sometime, what did we say?
June, I think it's going to be on a Wednesday.
June 9th?
Paul, your microphone is too far away.
Oh, you're not hearing me?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe 9th or the 16th of June, right?
Yeah, we'll post it. I hope you guys are signed up. I'm gonna sign up for our newsletter. It's in the www.alnb.org. That way you can get some of the what's going on. So that way that's where we post these chats, critiques / discussions / that Rashmi's been holding. You did a great job, Rashmi.
Thank you. It was my pleasure entirely. This is fun. I really enjoy this time.
So I'm gonna copy, once this is finished, it'll process. I'll send the link to Janet and some of the other committee members, and they'll disperse it to you guys.
Great.
Yeah.
Can you put it on YouTube?
I could do that. Actually, that's what I've done in the past. That's probably a good way to go.
Great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm sorry I missed the beginning.
Thank you.
We'll do it next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
a lot of fun.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. See you guys
Keep
tomorrow
creating,
night.
everyone.
Oh, yeah.
See you tomorrow night. Mhm.
Okay.
The
Bye-bye.
wine is ready.
Says high is 75 tomorrow, so summer's coming.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Woo-hoo.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Good night.